Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another Mystic Fitness Live Flow. So you'll notice this morning it's Kelly teaching, and we have my beautiful mother here, Joan, doing some demonstrating for us. Happy Sunday. It's beautiful outside. Amy was saying yesterday that we're so blessed with a couple beautiful days out. So if you have any Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, hit the beach or whatever you like to do. Maybe you have a pool or live near a lake or pond. Definitely plan something outdoors with your family or loved ones or by yourself. Have a little self-care day. So thank you guys for tuning in. Go ahead and comment. Good morning. Let me know you're here and watching and having a good day so far. If you are watching at a later point in time, thank you for tuning in at a time that's convenient for you. I hope this is finding you well. Just so you guys know, we are coming live to you every morning without fail with Facebook and Instagram Live, 9 a.m. Barbara says, good morning, Kelly and Joan. Miss seeing you both. Hi, Barbara. Good to see you. All we need left is Beth, my sister, to come in. It's a full family get-together. Thank you for commenting, Barbara. We miss you as well. Thank you for watching. In addition, we also post all of our classes later onto our YouTube page. So this is a great way for you to share our content to people that don't like to use Facebook or Instagram. Sometimes it's not in everybody's best interest to be on social media. But YouTube is a great way to be able to access all of this content without having to have any sort of social media presence ever. So I know Deba said that she often sends her mother these YouTube videos from India, and she doesn't have a YouTube account or anything like that, but she's still able to enjoy it. Good morning, Tom. Thank you for joining. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. What do we do this weekend? Anything fun? Me and Patrick drove up to Connecticut yesterday, saw my father, had a nice swim there. Barbara says hi to Beth, too. Took a little hike up Connecticut, and it was beautiful. We were able to see both sides. We were kind of in a little valley that has a little peak that kind of comes up it, and you could see both sides, mountains on both sides. It was absolutely beautiful. So if you like hiking, Connecticut has a bunch of amazing hikes down there. So my body is definitely looking for some nice deep stretches. So just wanted to let you guys know as well, if you are financially in a situation where you feel moved to make a donation, we're taking those donations through our Mystic Fitness Venmo page. So if you have it in your means to make the donation, go ahead and make that donation, but it is in no way necessary to enjoy these classes. We are 100% committed to giving you these free virtual yoga classes every morning at 9 a.m. And a reminder, if we ever encounter any technical difficulties, stay with us, keep refreshing your page, and know that we're going to be tuning back shortly. Just a quick reminder there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Just one last little bit. If you guys do make a donation, you can choose to get a handmade mask by Mary Beth. These are reusable, they're washable, and they fit your face wonderfully. They have elastic band and pleats in it, so they kind of can fit multiple different face sizes. Or you can opt into getting one of our used blocks, mats, yogitos. I mean, you name it. If you are looking for a prop and don't have it and want to make a donation and get a prop, you guys kind of get to get two birds with one stone. All right? So let's go ahead and get started. We'll come on to our mats. Either laying down, seated, child's pose, whatever feels best for you here. Wherever you do end up, make sure that you have the ability to keep a nice long spine. So if you're choosing to stay seated, you might consider placing a block underneath your tush. Maybe grabbing a quick little sip before really entering your meditation. Go ahead and take that deep breath in and let it all go. Let's take a couple breaths like that. Breathe in through your nose And exhale, sigh. 2 more, in and out. Last big breath. Now allowing yourself to come into a more natural breath pattern, perhaps keeping your breath only moving through and out the nose. We're trying to start by filling the lowermost belly, letting that expand with air, and then start to move up towards the chest, rib cage, maybe even up to the collarbones. And then your exhale is a descending, starting from the collarbones and slowly making its way down to the lowermost belly. Sometimes I like to imagine like this big line from my sacrum all the way to the crown of my head. And I'm watching my breath move like light, right from that lowermost part of your body, lifting that light all the way up through the midline, up to your crown. And exhale is a slow descending, watching that light go all the way back down to the earth. Almost like a elevator. Notice how this breath starts this process of grounding. Taking 5 more breaths here. Notice each breath from start to finish. Once you hit your 5th breath, start to expand with some movement from the toes and fingers. Starting to take some gentle movements, maybe rolling the neck. If you are laying down, maybe taking a full stretch. If you're in a seated position, maybe reaching the arms up and rolling at the wrists a couple times, opening and closing the fingers. Just taking this opportunity to warm your wrists up wherever you're located. Perhaps even giving those hands a shake. If you're laying down, pulling the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. If you're seated, maybe opening your arms up into a T and then crossing your arms and giving yourself a little hug. If you're laying down, slowly bringing yourself back up into your seat. Once you're there, perhaps taking some movements so that you can have a nice long spine. Bringing your hands over your heart, connecting to this heart chakra, this location where we hold all of our love for one another and ourselves. Perhaps setting an intention for your class this morning. If you find yourself searching for an intention, perhaps just waiting until it comes to you. That might mean that it's halfway through class when your intention actually arises. We'll begin our class with the sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath. Breathe in and out. And for Om, inhale. Beautiful. Have a wonderful class, everyone. We're going to start by inhale, circle, sweeping the arms up. And then with the exhale, bringing your hands towards your heart. Let's find 2 more like this. Inhale, lift. Maybe your gaze follows your fingertips. And exhale, pull that energy towards your heart. Here's 1 more big sweep. And hands to heart. Now, I was very inspired by Amy's class yesterday, and I would like to start with some boat poses just to really kick on our abdominal muscles. So bring the feet in front of you and let the soles of the feet just rest on the ground. Bring your hands behind your thighs, so you're kind of holding yourself here. And you'll notice there's an easy way where you can kind of round through your spine. And I want you to find that nice long spine. So use that grip to keep yourself lifted. Now choosing to keep the feet on the ground, or maybe you lift them so the shins are parallel to the sky. We're just going to hold here for 5. Really pull the belly in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the soles of the feet back to the ground. Bring the hands behind you, almost like little kickstands. And then just rock the knees from left to right a couple times. So it won't be too much of a movement here. We're just kind of getting a little gentle stretch in our hip flexors, getting a little side to side movement. We're going to pair for a little bit more intensity on our boat pose if you choose. So come back to that proper boat. You can bring your soles of the feet, keep them on the ground if you'd like. Bring the hands behind the thighs. And then lift those feet up potentially. Now from here, if you can, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to take some side-to-side movements like we're kind of rowing our boat. So we're going to rock our chest over towards the right and center, and over towards the left and center for 10, 9, I'm counting for both sides, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, you got this, 2, and 1. Bringing your soles of the feet back to the ground. Let's bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees flop out in a reclining, in a bound angle here. So if you like, you might bring those hands behind you as a kickstand to kind of keep that chest lifted, or you might choose to take a gentle forward fold here, perhaps just walking your fingertips a little bit more forward from the feet and letting your head be heavy here. Choosing whatever style you like. You might even invite a little rocking from side to side. Sometimes I like to bring my hands on top of my feet and kind of use my forearms to press my shins down a little bit. And then slowly rising back up. We're going to find our way into our table position. So just roll yourself forward. Bring the wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. We'll start with some spinal movement here. So with the inhale, arching the spine, gazing forward, dropping your chest. And with the exhale, curling and rounding as you really press the floor away to expand the upper back. Inhale, arch and open through your throat, chest. And exhale, curl and round, opening through the upper back. Taking a couple more like this, in and out. So this is our water phase of class where we start to connect to our fluidity. And there's this communication that happens between our body, and it's provided to us through sensation. So I want you to start to tap into the sensations being experienced and let that guide you. So you'll notice that now the body is looking for some more organic movement. That could be rocking the hips from left to right, maybe even gazing over the shoulders one at a time. Taking some hip circles. Maybe this morning they're little semicircles towards the back of your mat. Or maybe they're full circles, rotating your pelvic bowl all the way around. And eventually let your body guide you when it wants to change directions. And if at any point you feel uneven on one side, you can always revisit the side you feel uneven on. So this is your practice. It's your opportunity to do what feels good within your body. So my cues are only suggestions. Maybe even taking some back and forth presses, alternating between a child's pose and a very gentle upward dog. Beautiful. Coming back into your table pose, find a nice flat back. We're going to drop the right forearm onto the earth, keep that left hand as a little kickstand, and then just start to create some circles through that left hip. So we keep the right forearm on the ground as a little opportunity to keep the left side a little bit more propped open so you have more range of motion here. Take those circles in the opposite direction, and the knee can be bent. Maybe you create some gentle extending and bending of the leg throughout its journey. All right, we're going to get a little funky here. So I want you to kick that left leg out to the left. If this is too intense, you can keep a bend so that just that knee is pointed out to the left. We're going to take 10 toe taps here. So we're going to drop the left toes to the ground and then pick them up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Feel those hip flexors burning a little bit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that left foot land to the left and find some back and forth presses here. So we're kind of alternating between a half child's pose. You can stay on both forearms or you can come up onto the palms. This should feel really nice to relax and stretch the hip flexor after finding that little bit of intensity of those leg lifts. All right, coming back to center, but keeping that left leg where it is. We're going to find that flat back once again. Keep the left hand where it is. Inhale, right fingertips reach up. And with the exhale, thread the right fingertips towards the left. We're going to flow here. Inhale, lift. And exhale, thread. 2 more here. And 1. Inhale, coming back, reach those right fingertips up, and exhale, land back in your table pose. So let that left knee come back underneath the left hip. Take some little movements here before we take that on the other side. You might even sit back onto the heels and give those wrists a little extra love. So we did get some wrist movement already, but at any time throughout your class, if you feel like you need to give those wrists a break, please do so. Eventually, we'll come back to our table pose. Drop the left forearm to the ground this time. Keep that right hand as a little kickstand. And then we're just going to start to create some circles through the right hip and leg. Again, you can keep that knee bent or maybe extend and bend it a couple times. Take it in the opposite rotation once you're ready. And then we're going to find our favorite part. Our engagement. So I want you to either keep a bend in that right knee and just open the right knee out to the right, or kick that right leg out to the right. We're going to take those 10 taps starting now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and let the right foot land out to the right and find those back and forth presses here. So you can prop yourself back up onto the palms, or maybe you want to take this on the forearms. Any movements you take on the forearms are giving the wrists a little bit of a break, but allowing the shoulders to become a little bit more engaged. Coming back to center, keeping that right foot extended out to the right. Right hand plants. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. And exhale, thread. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2. And 1. Finish it off, left fingertips all the way back up. And exhale, returning back to your table pose. Perhaps sitting back onto the heels and just taking some shoulder circles, or just doing whatever you need to do here before we enter into our first downward facing dog of the morning. Beautiful. Once you're ready, we'll start from our table pose. Tuck the toes under. Engage through your core as you slowly lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out here, bending and extending through the knees one at a time. Picking one heel up off of the ground and then placing the opposite one towards the ground. You want to make sure that those shoulders are rolling down and away from the ears so that you have a nice long spine. And you've probably done downward facing dog about 100 million billion times, but take this with some curiosity still. So notice if you want to walk the feet a little bit closer to the hands. This becomes more intense through the hamstrings. And if you want more of a spinal stretch, you walk the feet farther apart away from the hands. Let's fire it up here with some back and forth presses. So with the inhale, we're dropping the knees to a hover, hips pull up and back, engage the thighs. And with the exhale, extend to your plank pose. Make sure those shoulders stay stacked over the wrists here. Inhale, hips pull up and back, bent knee dog. Know that you can always take this in a child's pose. And then your exhale is a plank pose or a supported plank pose with the knees on the ground. Inhale, pick it up and back, bent knee dog or child's pose. And exhale, full plank or supported plank. One more here. Inhale, peel it up and back. And exhale, plank pose. Hold for 5. Set up your plank. Press those heels back. Pull the chest forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, drop those knees to the ground. Allow the chest to follow nice and slow. Keep those elbows pointing back. Once you land, engage the shoelace sides of the feet into the ground. Inhale, start to peel that chest up, using your shoulders pulling towards one another for that back strength. And exhale, release. Let's find one more low cobra. Inhale, press yourself up. And exhale, release. Making your way back to your downward facing dog. So that was the first version of our chaturanga flow by finding a low cobra and supported plank. Let's go ahead and run through a sun salutation and we'll find our other option. So with the inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, prepare for flight. With the exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Starting with a deep bend in the knees, just shake the head yes and no here. We'll only be here for a breath or two. Just give yourself a chance to kind of decompress through the lower back. Let that head be heavy to release the neck. Inhale for a halfway lift. Bring your fingertips towards the shin. Lengthen the crown to the front of the room. Engage that lowermost belly. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, one vertebra at a time. We finish it off by reaching the arms up to the sky and then pulling all of that energy towards your heart center where we ground for the inhale and exhale. Inhale, circle sweep, arms reach up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, bend in the knees, forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift, engage and rise. Exhale, hands plant, stepping or finding a little hop back to your plank pose. So if you are going into those hops, just going to give you guys a little visual. I like to find a bent knee dog before finding my plank. So if I'm coming from a hop, you kind of hop up, and then find a bent knee dog, and then extend to your plank pose. All right, mom's doing a lot of work here. Take a breath in. With the exhale, find your version of chaturanga. So that might mean you drop those knees to the ground. Inhale for your upward dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Breathe it in. Let it go. In and out. Inhale, right leg lifts up to the sky. And with the exhale, pull the knee into the chest. Inhale, re-extend and lift right leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, step to your runner's lunge. Starting with blocks underneath the hands here, if you have them. If you don't, perhaps using another block-like material. Make sure the feet are hip distance apart. From here, keeping the left fingertips on your block, and start by bringing the right hand to your hip to start. From here, we're going to start to gently twist open to the left. So I want you to imagine that that left rib cage is opening up and twisting towards the right. Sorry, I think I switched my lefts and rights. From this location, if you can, maybe the right arm reaches up. Notice if that starts to sacrifice this pose and you start to kind of twist from the hips. Here's 2 breaths in and out. In and out. With slow and with some connection, we're going to slowly start to rise to your high crescent twist. So just lift that chest up. Keep it in your twist. Inhale, rise. Reach the right arm forward. And with the exhale, dip and twist to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip and twist. 2 more here. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. And twist. Inhale, come back to center, high crescent lunge. And exhale, dial left heel down, open up to your warrior 2. Now take a moment in your warrior 2. If you need a quick drink of water, you can grab one. We want to make sure that we set up our warrior 2 properly. So that means that the right toes are at the top of our mat, pointing towards the front. We have a bend in that right knee to track with the ankle. So it's okay to have that knee, that right knee, here, let me show you guys. It's okay to have that right knee a little back, but you don't want that knee forward. You don't want that knee to go past your ankle because that's going to put a lot of pressure on the front part of your knee. So you want to make sure that it either stacks or comes off just a touch, all right? So the proper way to do it is making sure that knee is stacked over right ankle, but if you do have any issues with the knees or hips, just come off of it a little bit, but don't go forward, all right? I want to make sure that we're nice and safe doing these postures so you guys can come back nice and healthy. Opening the arms up into a T. Feel as if you're ripping the mat apart by pressing the right foot forward, back, left foot backwards. Flowing here a couple times. Inhale, flip right palm to reverse your warrior. And exhale, extend your warrior. 2 more. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, extend. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Coming up and out to reverse. And then exhale, cartwheeling hands down to your runner's lunge. Hands plant, step right foot back to meet left, plank pose. Breathe it in. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Taking your time to get there. Never rushing through your chaturangas, even though sometimes you want to, right? Inhale, left leg sweeps up. Exhale, curl the knee into the chest. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to chest, step to your runner's lunge. Starting with hands on the blocks here to ensure that the feet are hip distance apart and that left heel is pressing into the ground. As we keep the right fingertips on your block, start by bringing the left hand to your hip and starting to let this twist come from the right rib cage, turning towards left knee. Once you have found that location, maybe the left arm extends, but notice if this kind of twists you out of your alignment. You want to make sure that we don't sacrifice one body part just to, make our arm look cool, right? 2 breaths. Press even more into that left foot. You got this. You're strong. Your body's going to keep you lifted. Slowly and with control, we're going to keep in our twist and lift to that crescent lunge. Not an easy task. From your crescent lunge twist, reach the left arm in front of you. Find a high crescent lunge. And with the exhale, dip and twist to the left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dip and twist. 2 more. And 1. Inhale, rise to your crescent lunge. Exhale, dial right heel down. Open up to your warrior 2 on the left side. So this time, those left toes are facing forward. Back edge of the right foot is towards the back of your mat. And there's this contrast effect as if you're ripping your mat apart by pressing the left foot forward and right foot backward. Inhale, flip left palm, reverse your warrior. And exhale, extend your warrior. 2 more. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Last one. And extend. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, cartwheel, hands down, runner's lunge. Hands plant. Left foot steps back to meet right. Plank pose. Breathe in. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now, yogi's choice here. If you need to drop the knees for a moment, grab a drink or take a quick child's pose. We're going to be entering our balancing portion of class, so I think it's always a good idea to kind of recalibrate, get a drink of water, come back to your breath. So breath is very important when we're coming into balancing postures. If we don't have a nice and controlled breath, the balance is going to be shaky. And there's some days where you can have the best breath pattern ever, but balance is still shaky, right? That's why it's called balance, because it's always going to be changing. There's some days that you got it, and there's some days that you don't. We'll return back in a downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths once you arrive. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. And exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Take a moment in your forward fold. Shake the head, yes and no. Maybe bounce the hips up and down a couple times. A little lymphatic movement. Inhale for your halfway lift. Bring those fingertips to your shins. Lift and engage. This is an active pose. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms reach to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart. So before we come into our balancing postures, I'd like to take some movement to kind of jump start the engagement in our legs. So we've done a lot of movement. Now it's time to really focus on some connection. So it's going to look a little something like this. So this is a little different than what I normally do. Mom, if you don't mind just turning to face the front. Yeah. So I saw this in a workout video yesterday, and I was like, oh, I have to bring this into yoga. So it's going to look something like this. If you need to watch for a moment before jumping into it, please do so. You want to start with the feet hip distance apart. Inhale, arm circle, sweep up. And with the exhale, bring your hands to your heart, and we're going to take the left foot and place it towards the back right corner of our mat and take a dip. Inhale, come to center, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart. The right toes go to the back left corner and you dip. Inhale, lift and rise to center. Exhale, left toes to right corner, dip. All right, jump in whenever you're ready. Inhale, rise. Exhale, right toes to the back left corner and dip. Inhale to center. Exhale, left toes, back right corner, dip. So now that you have the process, I'm going to run you guys through some technical stuff here. So as you come to center, inhale, rise, press the pelvis forward, squeeze your glutes. With the exhale, find that dip. Inhale, rise, and exhale, dip. So that front standing leg, you want to make sure that you're not rocking it out to the corner, right? You want to keep it nice and center. We're going to take 2 more on both sides. So here's 1. Here's our last full round on both sides. Beautiful. Inhale to center. And exhale, hands to heart, ground down here. So how do we feel? That was a little different, but I'm going to sprinkle that throughout the rest of the week so that we can really strengthen that movement and make it like you can do it in your sleep. So the next movement we're going to do is a little bit more simple, but still very engaging, and it's really good for the outer thighs. So when we do our chair squats, we're doing a lot for the glutes and our inner thighs, but I really want to access those outer thighs. So that's kind of what we did with those leg lifts when we were in our table pose. So we're going to take that same kind of energy here. So it's going to look something like this. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sit into your chair pose. Bring your hands to your heart. As you extend, bring the weight into right foot and lift the left leg out to the left. Beautiful. Chair. And exhale, right leg out to the right. Sit. And left leg. Sit. And right leg. Keep it going. Sit. Left leg. A little faster. Right leg. Left leg. Right leg. Left leg. This time we're going to pulse. 3, 2, 1. Right leg. 3, 2, 1. Left leg. 3, 2, 1. Right leg. 3, 2, 1. Left leg. 5 more. Right leg. 3, 2, 1. Left leg. 3, 2, 1. Right leg. 3, 2, 1. Left leg. Here's our last round. Both sides. Oops. 3, 2, 1. Left leg. Hold in your chair pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the torture is over. Hinge from the hips. Forward fold. Woo! Relax. Take a breath. Shake the head, yes and no. How do those legs feel? So it's so important to visit the classics, right? The warrior twos, the crescent lunge. These are all things that we want our body to be used to and strong. But we have to throw in new things every once in a while, right? Beautiful. Now we can enter our balancing pose, but first, let's just bring the hands onto the heart and take a couple big breaths in and out. If you need to grab a drink here. So before we enter our balancing postures, I want to control our breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Two more breaths. You can allow your eyes to close. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. With the exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Transfer the weight into the right foot and lift left leg up. Now, if you need to go to a wall to balance, that's all good. We're all coming to this at different points in time. Taking that left ankle, crossing it over right thigh for your figure 4. And your figure 4 might look something like this today, keeping those left toes on the ground and just crossing shins. If you like, you might take a little seat back into your chair. Now we're accessing a deeper stretching through the left hip flexor and deeper strengthening through the right glute and thigh. Slowly and with control, start to lift back up. Pull that left knee into the chest. Step it back to a crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, dial left heel down, open it up, warrior 2. Now in your warrior 2, I want to make sure that you have a block up to the top of your mat, right in front of those right toes, about 6 inches to a foot in front of right toes. We're going to find a balancing half moon, but I'd like to start by just taking a reverse warrior with the inhale, and with the exhale, finding an extended side angle, so letting those right forearm come towards the inner right thigh. Now from here, bringing those right fingertips onto your block and then extending the left leg up. So I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can get a little visual here as well. So the right fingertips are going to stay on the block. We're opening the left leg up, keeping the heel in line with the hip. And you want to imagine there's a wall behind you and your hips and shoulders are pressing evenly into that wall. If you flex that left foot, this makes it a little bit stronger. Balance is a little more controlled here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Land back in your warrior 2. Extend through the right leg, turn the toes in. We're going to find a wide-legged forward fold. Allow yourself to rest here for a moment. Shaking of the head, yes and no. It's like every day it gets sweatier in here. I love it. It's like a real hot yoga class. I bet if you guys are in your rooms without the AC on, you're feeling the exact same way. Walking the hands over towards right foot, and then bringing left foot to meet right foot in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, lift up, arms reach, and exhale, bring the hands towards the heart. Transfer the weight into the left foot, right leg lifts up. Find your balance, squeeze that left glute nice and strong. Amy was making sure my glutes were engaged yesterday. And then taking right ankle and crossing it over left thigh. If you missed our Saturday morning class yesterday, me, Amy, and Deba just had an amazing time, so go ahead and check it out. If you like, sink those hips back in your figure 4. Slowly and with control, starting to press yourself back to center, right knee to chest, and send it back, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, dialing right heel down, opening up, warrior 2. Make sure that block is towards the front of your mat. Once again, I'm going to be doing it from the side for you guys. Let's start by inhale, reversing your warrior. And exhale, extending your warrior. So letting that left wrist or forearm come down to the center of the left thigh or knee. From here, left fingertips start to reach for that block as you lift the right leg up to the sky, but keep it in line with the hip. Now we're using that block just as a little anchor. We're not dumping our weight into that. It's just a good way to keep that body in line. Hips are open, chest is open. Imagine that wall behind you once again. Flex that flying right foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land back to your warrior 2. Extend left leg, turn the toes in. And when you're ready, take a big breath to prepare. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Wide-legged forward folds. Relax here for 3 breaths. Shake the head off, yes and no. Well, don't shake it off. Let's keep it on, but shake it out. Walking the hands over towards left foot, finding a runner's lunge, and then stepping right foot to meet left in a forward fold at the top of your mat. We're going to take a malasana squat here by just toe heeling the feet apart from one another a little bit. The toes kind of turn out, heels turn in, and you start to sit into your squat. Now a couple options here might be bringing a block right underneath the tush so that you're kind of sitting upon a block. Or it might be that you're in more of a ski racer pose, kind of bringing the elbows on top of the thighs. Just 2 breaths here. And then we get to sit all the way down onto our bums. And we're going to take a little core movement here. I want to come back to that boat pose. So today is a boat kind of day. If you have a boat, maybe you're going to go on it later. But right now is ab time. So in our boat, I'd like to take the same expression that Amy took yesterday. So in that expression, you're coming into your boat pose. Now, if boat is not really a comfortable situation for you, you can always just lay on the ground and take this motion in your own way. So in our boat, what we're going to do is we're going to pull the knees in towards the chest, kind of compact your boat, and then with the exhale, extend your boat. So the legs are kicking long and you're dropping your shoulders back. Inhale, pull. Exhale, extend for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to your boat pose. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Roll forward. Find your bound angle position one more time. Bring the soles of the feet together, and perhaps this time hinging into a little fold here. So I like to take this after I take my boat pose, because I find the boat pose kind of does a really great job at kind of making me use my hip flexors. But that also means that they get pretty sore pretty fast, right? So I want to stretch my hip flexors out. We're going to move into our pigeon posture. So I'd like to take our pigeon seated today, but if you like a different style or different version, you can go ahead and find that version. So we're bringing both soles of the feet into the ground, kind of like we're coming into that boat pose. Bring your fingertips behind the back as a little kickstand, and then take right ankle and cross it over left thigh. I'm actually going to come off of my mat because it's kind of hard to see with the color of my mat. All right, so here I am. Now from here, if you want to make this a little less intense, you're going to walk that left heel away from the body. If you want this to be more intense, that left heel comes very close to the body, and you use the grip of the hands on the floor to kind of push your chest forward. So I'm going to show you guys from the side here. From here, you might want to take a little gentle sway from left to right. This can feel really good to massage the glute. And if you want to massage that glute even more, you might even start to rock your weight on to the right glute, lifting left glute off of the mat and kind of just rolling that right glute on the earth. See that? Oh yeah, then you find a nice sweet spot, that tight spot, that little knot. Here's your last breath here. And then we'll take it to the other side. So right foot plants, take left ankle up and over right thigh. Now again, to make this less intense, that right heel is as far away as you'd like. To make this more intense, that right heel is very close to the body. Keep a flat back here. So notice if you're kind of rounding, use the hand placement behind you to keep your spine nice and long. Maybe that rocking side to side. Maybe that left glute massage by coming off of right glute and putting all of your weight into the left cheek. And a little rocking. And you'll notice that those knots are on different sides. Another option here, if you have a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, you might even place it under left glute and massage it. That's pretty intense though. Beautiful. We're going to come all the way down onto our mats. So extend both legs long. Lay yourself all the way down. Find a nice full body stretch, reaching the arms and legs away from one another. Letting your lungs fill and decompress. Pulling the knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. A little rocking side to side. Keeping the right knee pulled in and extending left leg long or bringing the sole of left foot to the earth. That protects the lower back. Or extending the leg all the way long. You just want to make sure that if you extend the leg long, that there's no pressure building in your lower back. This is your wind relieving posture. This is such a beautiful pose that really turns this practice from just being external into internal. So we're massaging the internal organs, especially that digestive system. So we're massaging the ascending and descending colon. This is a great pose to take in the morning to jumpstart that digestive process. Allowing this to turn into your twist, so letting that right leg cross over towards the left, maybe the arms open into a T. I like to place a block right underneath right knee so it's not floating, so it's supported. Some people like to bend both knees and bring the block in between the knees. So whatever feels good for you within this moment. Relax on the exhales. Come back to center, both knees pull back into the chest. Perhaps taking some circling of the knees in one direction and the other. Letting the knees come away from you and back in, and vice versa. And then pulling the left knee into the chest, either extending the right sole of the foot onto the earth or extending it all the way down the mat. Your lower back should let you know which version works best for you. And now we're massaging the left side of the body, all of the internal organs that belong on the left side. Again, a great posture for digestion. Sometimes even when you're in this pose, you might hear some bubbling happening in the abdomen or belly. That's all good stuff. And sometimes we forget that this yoga practice is doing so much for our insides, our heart, lungs, kidney, liver, detoxification. Taking this into your twist, letting that left leg cross over towards the right. And again, twisting is also great for the digestive system. Use your block to make sure that you feel supported here if you like. Couple nice long breaths here. And then coming back to center, taking any last postures of your choice. If you like a happy baby or reclining bound angle. We're going to take about 4 breaths before entering our final resting pose. Eventually you'll find a location where you can hold in stillness. Perhaps taking a drink of water or utilizing any props that you need to make yourself feel at peace. And just let that wave of breath come in and out. Feel the weight of your own body. I wanna be free, so free, like a feather blowing through the breeze, like a bird in a tree, like a dolphin in the sea. I wanna fly high, so high, like an eagle in the sky. And when my time has come, I'll let it all go with a sigh. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. I wanna be free, be me, be the only being that I see. Not to rise and not to fall, be at one with love and all. There is no high, no low, there is nowhere else to go except inside within your heart, and be just who you are. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Again, inhale and exhale. Slowly starting to allow your awareness to trickle back in to your physical body, taking any subtle movements to allow this process to happen. Bringing the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. Perhaps rocking into a fetal position. Bringing yourself up into your meditative seat. Once you're there, bringing your hands towards your heart. And Pachamama in South America symbolizes Mother Earth, the eternal clock of the universe. We'll seal our practice in with the sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath to prepare. Bring it in and out. And with your next inhale, imagine you're pulling in all of the love you can muster. And that first breath after Om symbolizes a bright new beginning. And the internal light within me bows to the internal light within you. Namaste. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in to another live Mystic Fitness class. We got so much love from you guys this morning. The Tillets say hello. Great to see you, Joan. We got some thumbs up and lots of thank yous. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm actually teaching tomorrow morning for in place of Kelly, and she's teaching for me Tuesday. So expect Kelly on Tuesday for a power flow, and tomorrow, I don't know, you guys give me some inspiration. What should we do? It's a Monday morning. We got to kick it off right. All right? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.